Hello, my name is Tomas Lagūnavičius. I am sorry for my English. I am director of post-processed theatre. Today I would like to talk about postmodern theatre. I have received a board in English language called Directing Postmodern and Traditional Theatre. You can find it in Amazon.com. So let's start talking about practical part. Before directing performance, you should answer first question. What type of theater play would you like to directing? There are a lot of theater types. Currently in Europe, there are 5 dominant theater types. 1. Projective commercial theater. Interpretation theater. 3. Post-drama theater. 4. Documentary theater. And postmodern theater. Postmodern theater is not indiscrete. It has many direction: morphological theater, post-trans theater, integration theater, and others. Postmodern theater has emerged after being influenced by the social culture and other subjects. First, postmodern philosophy, ethic, and aesthetic. 2. Contemporary art trends of theory. 3. Media and others technology. 4. Modern marketing and management. 5. Creativity promotion methods. 6. Creativity technology. 7. Games, activities, and events practices. 8. Modern and traditional rituals. 9. Social drama, psychodrama, process theater. 10. Psychology therapy schools. 11. Cognitive psychology. 12. After states of conscience, automatics, unconscious action, writing, fantasy, and fiction of performance. Semiology. And 40. Audiovisual arts and others. If you decide the build of postmodern theater play, you answer second question. What postmodern theater partitures would you like to introduce in your play? Take a sheet of paper and try to write down your ideas. While reading of chapters, you will learn what features are characteristic to postmodern theater. Think about honors you want to highlight of feature performance. Each performance doesn't not necessarily have reflect all the characteristic features of postmodern theater. We can choose of honors you currently are the most relevant to. We can accentuate the postmodern theater features. 1. Postmodern theater must be non-preaching. It must disclose of authentic and alternative, no matter about absurd, unexpected, of controversial they can be. It also should not reflect to reality. Instead, it should be simulacrum of reality. How will this feature affect production of your play? 2. Postmodern theatre has astonished the audience during the play and leave a long-lasting impression. Are relevant, sharp, of painful topic should be selected. No illusion of any sounding tales. How will this feature affect produce of your play? 3. Postmodern theatre has to deliberately provoke the audience. The aim is not knocked out. This weaver from everyday, non-adaptive thinking. How will this feature affect production of your play? 4. Postmodern theatre must show the meaninglessness of established norms of moral traditions. The aim is not destroy morality, but a creative new, more tolerant, more modified, redesigned moral norms. This process must be contained of cannot become a cliché. How will this feature affect production of your play? 5. Postmodern theatre should reinterpret all text and discourse. Textual reinterpretation will take place outside any rules of analytical critical cognition. It has to be spontaneous, non-contextual, intuitive and illogical. How will this feature affect production of your play? 6. Postmodern theatre play text can be of any kind of discourse. Scientific, philosophical, sociological, metaphysical, and so on. It might not even be written text. Is it preferable of it not be previously analyzed? Different topics or this interpretation. How will this feature affect production of your play? 7. Postmodern theatre must analyze non-human social problems, but many of these internal conflict, dialogues, and monologues. There is no undivided me by many internal selves that decide itself. We are becoming your inner selves, desire generating machines. Poly-identity uppers. How will this feature affect production of your play? 8. The most common postmodern feature play should be incomplete. incomplete with connect of different components with actu gebe do not necessarily have to attach but should be continuous. How will the feature affect production of your play? 9. Postmodern theatre play can without a clear of different beginning of ending. How will this feature affect produce in your play? 10. Postmodern theatre play can be held at the same time but in different dimension. How will features affect production of your play? During the postmodern theatre play, director select whether the viewer will be participating and will be just be an observer. The director's decision can vary during the time of the play. How will features affect production of your play? 12. Postmodern theatre play could be just like of game and or improvisation, using theatre equipment and character in our or inner self. 5th guides each other. Actors do not know how the play will end. Each time can be different. How will this feature affect produce of your play? 14. Postmodern theatre play could be performed differently by using of changing created plays means of expression. For example, changing the music, introducing of new text, building new decoration, joining other actors school at. How will this feature affect production of your play? 14. Postmodern theatre can be like of map and or in itinerary without aim, plot, action, partiture, and others. Actors independently decide where, when, and with what kind of text, lines, action can they immerse themselves into the acting process. How will this feature affect produce on your play of your plays? 15. Postmodern theatre plays results of really clear of predictable because there is not exact answer for how it will come out. It can change of every stage of the creation and audition. How will the feature affect production of your play? 16. In postmodern theatre, there are no key play elements. Each element is equally important, for example, director, music, decoration, and so on. Creation of a play can start from any elements. How will this feature affect production of your play? '17. All play elements of postmodern theatre can be developed separately from each other and may not have a common interface. For example, the set design scenograph can create decoration without any consultation from director. How will this feature affect production of your play? 18. Postmodern theatre performs rehearsals can be placed of the planet of spontaneous manner. Intermediate on final variation are secret during rehearsals, sometimes even until the exhaustion of the members. How will feature affect production of your play? 19. The director's standing of presentation of play in postmodern theatre are a continuous creative process. All creative group members must be prepared to recreate of play. Most importantly, by alert and maintain performances, the creating the display time. The creativity team members must be able to quickly adapt to the changes. How will this feature affect production of your play? 20. Postmodern theatre creators generally encourage the audience to join in the play and they become active members of it. How will this feature affect production of your play? 21. Postmodern theatre from time to time has to perform really deconstruction of the play. For example, split the play in many elements. The individual elements can be present in a new play. How will this feature affect production of your play? 22. Characters might be absent in the postmodern theatre. The actors' creativity can be random, spontaneous, and stay within the director's idea. How will this feature affect production of your play? 23. Postmodern theatre play doesn't not any epilogue, moral conclusion, but any part of play is likely to be refuted by performances of progress in self. The performance might give a play into an absolutely different direction. Only a hypothetics remains that are non-definitive conclusions. How will this feature affect production of your play? 24. In the play of postmodern theatre, an actors can be here and now, while being there and now. They can respond to the action without process conception and internal cinefilm partitures. How will this feature affect production of your play? In total, there are 54 postmodern theatre features that shall be looked into. You can find them in my books, Directing Postmodern and Traditional Theatre. Now talks about phases of creation of postmodern theatre plays. Postmodern theatre plays creating consists of following phases. 1. The creation of play's initial ideas. 1. The initial ideas of play can emerge after a few exercises. First exercise. Initial ideas. Sit down, take a pen, ask yourself, what kind of performances will I like to create? After asking this question, observe your thoughts. Write down the thoughts you have come on this info into. Making 9 tables and writing in him. Postmodern theatre have following components. First, stage, space, mise-en-scène. Next, text, a plot. 3. Movement, dance, form, style. 4. Decoration, props, items on stage, costumes. 5. Performances, tempo and rhythm. 6. Acting school. 7. Audiovisual effect. And 8. Feelings, emotion, partitures. For each part at Postmodern Theatre, prepare a sheet of paper of what down all the initial ideas of you came up without about them. Write as much as you can. Do not think about general concept of first. Create each parts separately. Second exercises. Question answer. Create two versions of your inner self. Let one always ask the question, what can be improved in each components of the performance? Let the second look of answer. Write down this answer. 2. Formal task. Extend ideas and aspiration of the performance of each component. In the initial creating task stage, objective of the performance of each components are separately formulated. Do not connect all the performance parts into one. Task should be abstract. Task concretization and implementation will happen later, during rehearsals. The initial task might be: movement in the performance should be static, angular, jerky, and so on. Formal tasks extend ideas, objective for each part of the performances. 1. How would you like to organize the stage space, and what kind of mise-en-scène would you like to create? Think about this. Okay. 2. How would you like to compose text and plot? Think about this. Have question right in your papers. 3. What kind of motion and that dance style will be used by actors in the play? What kind of decoration, costumes, props, or items will be on stage? Thinking and writing your answer. 5. What will performance be like, and how will the tempo and rhythms changes in its particular parts? Think and write. 6. How the characters will be created in the will appear, what kind of acting skills, techniques will be used. 7. What kind of audiovisual effect will be used in the play? 8. What will be partiture of performances and emotion? Okay. 3. Collecting information about implementation of the play's idea. A. Collect information about question. What called a separate part of the performance be like? Complete the exercise. Read, see, touch, try. Each play components are creating individual. Get information on that are called each part of every performance be like. Find a list 3 primary courses for inspiration in each performance part. Experiment and search of different ideas, sensation. Sources of information may be different: video, audio, seminars, books, exhibition, nature, and so on. Make notes and what information you have found. Think about how it can be adapted in the development of the performance. B. The creation of individual performance parts without linking them together. While deconstruction the performances into the components all should not engage in the development of a composite image in space and time. Instead, you should be interested in the performance's construction, mechanical connection of collection of the parts. While collecting information, disregard the principle. that the individual parts of the work should be or have something in common. Use the principles of asymmetry. All parts of the work are equally important, no matter from which we will begin to build our performances. Follow the principles while studying various parts of the performance. 1. The materiality. Think, experiment with new information. For example, try a new stage movement for your performance. 2. Information structuring. Info small pieces. Reduce the information units, analyze and sense each of them. Think about how you can incorporate into your performance. 3. Conceptualism. Then searching for information and creating each component part of the performances. Purposeful. Try to follow a different concept. 4. Information diversity. Find different types of information, but do not refuse conflict information. 5. Information analysis. Not just gather the information, but also analyze and find the original causes. Do not read all others' interpretation. 6. Day-to-day observation. Observe daily reality. Search there for inspiration. 7. Caution. Interpret everything with caution, randomly, without focus. Protest against the principles of conceptually. 8. Communication. Create interpretation not in your imagined, but will observation. Participating and communicating. 9. Skills formation. Educate the abilities and skills to feel movements, space, tempo and rhythms, mise-en-scène and others. Each new information and concept try you yourself during rehearsal. 10. Detachment. Do not attach yourself while developing initial concept. Image that concept in the simulacrum, which can change on any moment. Break theater components parts. Reconstruction them again. Try to combine them back together. 11. The observation. Create performance constituent parts of observation. Participial perspective, rather of from developments. Take parts in all the scenes of action yourself. 12. Inside out. Each performance's part should be formed from the inside out. 15. Actors in essentialness. Director, while creating a play from the inside out, becomes a performance himself. In the cost still needed. 14. No censorship. There is no inadequate or inadequate performance content. It might be difficult of conflate them. Therefore, Nothing should be consort in the initial stage of creation. 15. Self-creation. Performance part must involve naturally rather that be implemented in for the task. 16. Performance cube. Create performance part into the virtual cube, inside which all parts of the performances are freely connected. 17. Separateness. Each performance part must the rehearsal separately. Make plenty of time for each of them. Consciously observe and imply the willingness to combine, to integrate them. 18. Emptiness. Work if you are in the state of ignorance. Do not try to predict what will be part of the performance. Doing rehearsal, experiment, communicate, ask, question, and so on. 19. Time certainly. Create 8 equal length, for example 19 min each, performances with different component partitures. 20. Concentration. Concentrate of creating only one component part of performance at a time and work with until you're getting time different partiture. Recording, describe, or even film it. C. The creation of 8 performances component parts partitures. No, we are going to create each performance part separately. Perform the following exercise and activities. 1. Creation of scene, space, mise-en-scène, 1 partitures. 1.1. Enter the location where the performances will take place. For 20 minutes observe, do not doing anything, and just get acquainted with the area. Write down your first impression, take pictures, and so on. 1.2. Evaluate geometric features of a location. Record of example. I see a 3-meter tall wall, or I see a window 6 meters away, and so on. 1.3. Start exploring the location with walking and standing still. Observe your thoughts as or creating a performance in your imagination. 1.4. Start or create of partiture of mise-en-scènes. Create them without attaching to the text. Create various mise-en-scènes, portray in the figure below. While designing, always mark down the location of the audience on stage. Demonstrate the pointers in the figure below. What further development in mise-en-scène will be like, for example. Design of line chapter mise-en-scène. Next, Design circle chapter mise-en-scène. Design a symmetrical mise-en-scène. Design a asymmetrical mise-en-scène and order. Connect design mise-en-scenes into a single one-piece partiture. Meanwhile, try not to think about the place text. Also, connect them randomly without search from any logic. Think about the intermedial mise-en-scenes if in the impossible to collide them directly. If you are in lack of mise-en-scenes, they create some extra bonus. 3 to 1. Text, plot, deconstruction of the history. 1. Try to write the text yourself, while being in auto-conscious of self-hypnosis stage. 2. Collect a variety of interesting text of their extracts. Try to combine them. 3. Perform the deconstruction while combining text. Merge separately smaller or bigger parts of text. Consolidation logic and consistently will appear by itself. 4. For the meandering of text, the transitional sentence between text. 5. Read several times after creating a pastiche. The plot of pastiche is not necessary. 6. Arrange the text in the time evenly. Create a partiture of text. Make in the same length as movement and mise-en-scène partitures. The text does not have to be present in the play all the time, but the time when the text will be said be an actor has to be exist and specific. 7. The content of text does not matter. Most important is that the text has to be interesting. Write down your option. 3.3. Composing the partiture of dance and movement. 1. The actor's body shape movement is message of performance expression. Look for variety of movement forms. Describe them. Without think about the place text. Try to deliberately create a variant of movement form. After that, try to collide them into the partiture of movement. In the relevant to create at least 2-3 different designs from each combination of different forms of movement. For example, create 3 symmetrical shape movement etudes. 1.2. Create 3 asymmetrical shape movement etudes. 1.3. Create 3 curve line shape movement etudes. 1.4. Create 3 straight line shape movement etude. 1.5. Create 3 harmonious shape movement etudes. 1.6. Create 3 disharmonious shape movement etudes etc. Look for actors who are able to perform the type of movement you require. Pantomime, various dance techniques, the more precisely and clearly actor is able to move, the more expressive he is stage. What type of motion do you need off stage? 3. During rehearsal, you use one-step methods, beat by beat, and sometimes on a move or step, or at a time range movement partiture. 4. With a help of imagination together with the actors analyze with feeling inspire a specific motion, pain, hunger, touch, etc. 5. Sense of feeling of attraction, the center of rotation, balance, and so on. Make the most of them while development motion etudes. 6. Comprehend and master an internal and external causes of motion. Create a movement partiture performance. 3.4. Decorate props in terms on stage costumes. 1. Decide what kind of back decoration props in terms on costumes you need and how many should there be. 2. Decide the styles of decoration costume props and items prepared on the stage. Make several versions of sketch. For example, a minimalistic, symbolic, conceptual, and so on. Evaluate which one would you prefer. 3. Think how the actors will interact with the props and items on the stage. What will they do with them? 4. Think about how actors will be interacting with the decoration. 5. What kind of costumes will you need? 3.5. Composing the partiture of rhythm of tempo. Find the time, language, your play. Write a few options: rhythms, duration, tempo, speed, impulse, so on. 2. Experiment with the elements. Accelerate or slow down the movements of accessor. Create some of an option. 3. At first work only with a single chosen movement, such as walking. Count your time. Feel the simple motion, impulse, and so on. Create option. 4. Feel the characteristic of time, slow, fast, vicious time, and so on. Create option. 3.7. Compose the partiture of audiovisual effect. 1. How will audio and video effect be put together in performance partiture? 2. What kind of video art you will be create? Static, dynamic, mixed. 3. What will be the style of video art? Minimalistic, futuristic, surreal, and so on. 4. What music and sound effect will you use in your play? 5. What will music be like? Synchronous, asynchronous, contrapuntal. 6. While what will be the function of music performance, semantic, highlighting the action, describing the action, place, time, and so on. 7. Compose or place partiture based of audiovisual effect. 3.8. Composing the partiture of feelings and emotion. 1. Compose and atmospheric changes partiture regardless of the text. 2. Compose each character's emotion partiture regardless of its text. 3. Observe your natural everyday feelings and create a partiture. Follow one while down sequence. After that, adjust it, you become a feeling partiture. Four. Perform breathing, thought on movement, observe exercise. Concentrate on the changes of emotion. 4. Presentation, discussion and evaluation of individual play parts. 1. Revise each part of the performance partiture separately. Analyze how much each partiture is standard, arrive, new, unique, exceptional. 2. Partitures have been estimated as new, unique, exclusive, may not to be future improvised with the director's discretion, and the rest will be improvised or replaced by others. 5. The improve of individual play parts. 1. Improve each component of the performance partiture separately. Fill in the table below. Ask questions and write down your answers. Questions. What can be into the chosen partitures component of the play? 1. Option. Added. Maybe supplement. 3. Facilitate. Magnificate. Highlighted. And so on. Think what you're making changes in your partitures. 6. The presentation of individual play parts. After the improvements, individual performance part are once again represented and requalified, and thus is need of repeat are continuous improvised. 7. General rehearsal with the purpose of combine the individual parts of the play into a performance, and the creation of merging play elements. 1. Merge the parts naturally. During rehearsal, move from one partiture to another. For example, move from the location partiture to the motion, from the motion to the text and acting partitures. also have a specific performance time, for example 19 minutes. Do not change partitures, just move from one time to another. You can simultaneously merge together multiple partitures. For example, deliver the text to convey the feelings partiture and to change the location according to establish partiture. 2. Look for solution on how to combine 8 parts of the performance without change in partitures. 3. Consider partitures in the state of unknown. After that, analyze what you have good. Do not have preconceptions. 4. Enforce the actors to monitor and feel each other's 8 partitures. Educate them to communicate and harmonize with each others. 5. Educate actors to ever pass from one partiture to another. And it is most easily done by concentrate on in. The main attention focus of the actor becomes the leading partitures. The supporting partitures that do not correspond will with each other are rejected from certain periods of times, or at least until the focus of attention will start to fade. 6. In the beginning of rehearsals, actors perform simple actions like walking, sitting, standing, and by doing this they try to switch to different performances partitures. 7. After the consolidation of the few partitures rehearsal, actors are encouraged to make choice on how to connect various performance partitures by themselves. Initially, they can try to connect toward 3 or 4 partitures. It occurs naturally by connecting the logic on your performance. Logics usually originate from communication between different parts of the play, rather than prejudice. 8. Most important for the actors is the interaction with each performance elements of other actors, who of course interact with them on each performance's elements. 9. Search of the interaction between different play elements, actors and the audience. Include the audience to the development of performances. Eight. General rehearsals of future performances improvised. After general rehearsals, performance improvement doesn't not stop. Improve a future continually. Explain how are you playing to do it. 9. continuous replacement and replacement and improvement of performances part within the repertoire. 9.2.1 Launching a play from continuous display and new compositional changes. 1.1 For example, in this decide not to perform the play from the beginning instead of start from the middle, and that sometimes the action still develops from beginning to end. 1.2 Other changes are possible too, such as playing a performance from beginning to end, but at the middle of the play. Context changing several elements of the partiture. Look from option on how to change the play. 9.2 Encouragement of changes in performance which communicate with the audience. How are you going to communicate with the audience? 9.3 Performance of the play each time as if it is new. Amendments may be rehearsed and improvised. Always ask yourself, what can I change in the play? Once again, I would like to apologize for my bad English, because my native language is Lithuanian. Concluding, I would like to say that my opinions why should stick to mentioned before algorithms while creating a postmodern performance. This helps to create something new from each separate elements. Performance. Good luck for your will creating.